Friends, we are excited to share another great story of a client who's living a really wonderful life. And Alicia Lein had a great career here in Columbus with the City of Columbus, later with the Columbus Zoo. And when she retired, she gave herself a little bit of time and then began to just explore some possibilities that might ignite her passion. She discovered that travel was one of those things, and you'll hear her describe some hiking in Sedona and spending a month in Boulder, living on her own, kind of getting to know the local culture. A trip to Italy where she spent some time with a friend, and they lived in a little small town and really immersed themselves in the culture there. So for Alicia, travel has been one of the great benefits in her retirement chapter, in her great life. The other one has been her family. Her daughter was recently married and has just given her a granddaughter, little Zoe. So as you listen to Alicia, think a little bit about your own life. How can you maybe take some of the things that she's learning and doing and try them? Her advice, you'll hear some advice that she gives. One, be open to exploring some options and trying some different things. Two, be willing to give yourself some transition time and know that this time from stepping out of work and into a post-work life might have a little bit of discomfort at times. And then finally, be open to opportunities that come by and be willing to say yes and give them a try. We are so excited to help our clients every day live their great lives, and we'd love to talk with you about how we can help you live your great life and tell the great story that is your life. Get in touch with us, let us know how we can help. Have a great day.
I think from the get-go with retirement, it's been having choice, being freed up to choose things, and then giving myself permission to explore interests. And realizing you're not signing on for life. You can try something, and if it resonates, great, and you want to stay with it, fine. If you don't, it was great while you explored it. So I didn't have that kind of freedom of choice, went right out of college into working, and so to have that now is wonderful because you just discover all sorts of things about the world around you and about yourself. Since I retired, I started going out west pretty much every year or every other year to go hiking in Sedona. Since I had lived in Arizona and I liked the West, I wanted to get back to it because it feeds me in a way that I don't get fed otherwise. So I've been hiking and celebrated my 60th birthday out there with friends. I think my first big adventure though was, I think it was 2012. After hiking in Sedona, I went to Boulder. Just flew in. I had sublet an apartment from a young couple right on Pearl Street in downtown Boulder. And I chose to live in Boulder for a month. Didn't know anybody. I chose not to get a car. I wanted to live the lifestyle, so I was going to use public transportation, a bike, or walk. And that was fantastic. Part of it was I had heard people talk about how great Boulder was, and nobody was ever able to go. So I decided I was going to give that to myself. And I discovered that I like the challenge of it because nobody's knocking on your door, nobody's calling you. You have to get up and go engage, or nothing's going to happen. And find your way around. You don't know anything. But I liked it. My friend Diane was living in Italy for a 4-month period of time. So when she said, why don't you come? I said, great, and chose to go when there was an international music festival in the town where she had an apartment, which was Montepulciano in the Tuscany region. And so we met up in Florence, spent 3 days there and enjoying it. And then we took the train out and picked up the car that she had rented, and we drove to Montepulciano. And every day we would have breakfast and then do a little day road trip and explore the countryside. So we would do our adventures, and then we'd come home, have dinner, usually out, all small restaurants, and then we'd go to an event. We'd go to an opera, we'd see a dance troupe, we'd see a small ensemble playing clarinets in a different way than I have ever heard. In the last 2 years, had lots of good news to celebrate. My daughter got married, great guy, lovely guy. Then a year later, I have a grandbaby, a granddaughter, Zoe, and she is just the best thing ever. I never knew that this would be so exciting, but it is. And the joy that she has brought is phenomenal. I think be prepared for a transition time. And being uncomfortable with that, but giving yourself some room to let things settle out. I had initially thought I would give myself a month off after working 37.5 years, and then I would do another job, and I had some opportunities. But I found that a month wasn't enough. I needed more time. You just don't know what you're going to like. You don't have to think about it. You just have to open yourself up to opportunities when they present themselves and say yes.